Hey everyone, and good morning from Phoenix, Arizona. Today we're coming at you from the Arizona Boardwalk, a collection of attractions here in the Phoenix area. And we're going to check out the Odysea Aquarium, which came highly recommended to us. Let's go check out all the fishes and exhibits that we could see in the aquarium. Oh, also I go by the legend. That's my girlfriend Molly.
Hi.
And we'll be the ones showing you around. The aquarium has a very interesting entrance. You got a giant mural, and then if you look above you, it's like small round aquarium.
Yeah, like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Different types of fish in each one.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, I've never seen something like this in an aquarium, especially in an entrance area. So after you scan your tickets, one of the first things you get to is the bathrooms, which apparently the guy when we checked in said we had to go see them because they're voted America's best bathroom.
Yeah.
All right, so you can definitely see why this is voted one of the best bathrooms in the world or America, as in the sink is a shark exhibit. That is a very, very interesting design. Wash your hands. And the sharks swim by. All right, well, let's follow these penguins up the escalator and
Animal.
exactly, and take this escalator up to start our aquarium experience. After the escalator, you are greeted with an area all about conserving Arizona waters and a really cool display featuring some turtles where it looks like it's breakfast time for these guys and they're enjoying some lettuce. Really cool to see them eat like underneath the water like that. That's cool. Nice tank over here. You do also have an exhibit all about the Colorado River and some of the fish that can be found there. This tank is home to a sleepy Gila monster. This tank has a whole bunch of dwarf caimans in it.
And I love how you're like at eye level.
Yeah. They're so neat, especially when they're out of the water like that.
Yeah.
This is the smallest species of crocodile in the world. And it's interesting, their tank like ebbs and flows. The guy over there, like smiling, very much reminds me of like a Splash Mountain alligator.
With his eyes closed.
Another fun design here. This is a tank for Russian sturgeon, which looks like during times when there's not an ongoing global health situation, probably a touch tank style exhibit. But I love the design.
Yeah. With the giant tree in the middle.
Yeah, and open air.
Yeah.
These are big fish too. Like these are not normally touch tank fish. This exhibit here is home to a couple of spotted turtles.
Looking right at you. Or what?
This tank shows off fish from American rivers. There is an eel in there. It's probably the most interesting fish, but he is hiding in that tube. Molly is native Floridians now. A couple species that are very common for us.
Yeah.
The American alligator. Oh, and he's going for a swim. I love how you can see him like below the water, above the water. And one thing about the aquarium here, the lighting is really good. Like you can tell that this is a super modern aquarium.
He's on the move.
Yeah, look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like seeing him under the water like that. The next enclosure with the kind of the built-in waterfall is a trout stream. They have a lot. These are blind cave tetra.
From North Mexico.
Yeah, so none of these fish can see. They just use their other senses as they live in caves.
Yeah.
These very different looking fish, these are Asian arowanas, which are an endangered species. I like this one, hanging out like in the stump of the tree. Also, when we're talking about the aquarium here, the signage is very good. A lot of them are on TV screens. And then they'll also tell you like the status of the animal, whether they're vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered, extinct in the wild. The next tank is the Mississippi River Monsters. Gotta say, Molly, I expected them to be bigger.
Yeah, for monsters?
Yeah. A lot of paddlefish, which are really funny looking animals. Probably the most paddlefish I've ever seen in one place in my entire life.
Yeah.
None of them have their mouths open. When they have their mouths open, they're really weird looking. I mean, I guess they're pretty odd looking right now.
No, they're very odd looking.
And then in here is also some ducks. Who I don't know where they're. Oh, there they are.
Quack, quack, quack.
Interesting. I would not think the Mississippi River Monsters exhibit would include some adorable ducks.
Wood ducks. And redhead.
This enclosure is labeled North American Giants. You get some monstrous looking catfish. You got some gar in here as well. Look at that catfish down there.
The alligator gar can weigh up to 300 pounds. That's giant.
Wow, these guys in this tank definitely are not those type.
No, not at all.
So when I saw the Mississippi River enclosure, I'm like, man, this really looks like something that would probably have alligators in it. And I'm guessing it did at some point. So I couldn't believe this. The quote on the wall, why are alligators so ornery? Mama said, alligators are so ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. Bobby Boucher, the water boy. Also, these catfish are they're just so cool.
Terrible, like, accent that you try to do.
I can't do a water boy accent, I'm sorry. In this tank, you've got archer fish. And then around the outside, like on a lower level, is a bunch of insects. So you got a blue death feigning dung beetle and a Chilean rose-haired tarantula.
On the other side, you got a cockroach.
Over here we got cockroach, a giant cave cockroach.
Your friends will like him.
I probably won't like it. Where are they?
They're on the wall. Right up
They're
here.
on the wall. Oh, they are very large. Very large. This one is the Amazonian giants. And these are some big old fish. You've got pacu, you've got arowanas, among others in here. Adorably sleeping there in the basket is Squidney, which she is a Linneman's two-toed sloth.
And that's a wonderful name for a sloth.
This is the river raised tank. That very interesting looking animal is a mata turtle. And the rays themselves, they very much camouflage in with the bottom of the tank. But I think the mata turtle here steals the show.
I wonder if they walk.
That's a turn the camera on real quick. You've also got this weird looking fish here who is sucking the glass. This is a sucker mouth catfish.
He's really cool. Look at it inside his mouth.
These very colorful animals are the aptly named rainbow fish. This has to be one of the larger enclosures in the entire aquarium. As the zebra shark comes and says hello, swimming all right on past. We also got cow nose rays in here and a lot of other things. But look at the size of this tank. It is breakfast time here for the zoo's toucans. There's two toucans in here. They're named Ricky and Lucy.
Which is perfect.
I love watching them eat. Yum. I would say one of the more legendary fish in the entire ocean can be found down there. That is an electric eel. Unfortunately, I missed him swimming around. He was swimming around a minute ago. He's also in a tank with a lot of tetra. This is a very small tank here, but I like these guys. I believe they're called butterfly gulf stream loaches. They're very small, and they sort of like skip from rock to rock. Like they don't swim that much, they just sort of scoot along the rocks. Being here in Arizona, this tank makes a lot of sense. This is the desert wetland tanks with some Quattro Cinegas cichlids.
In northern Mexico.
This is a fun name. Their otter exhibit is named the Otter Banks. And I believe they have Asian small-clawed otters. And we're trying to find them. They're in a cuddle party over there. Oh, they're awake though.
They are?
Looks like they have 3 or 4. Like they have a bunch of them. Here's a better look at them. Came out to say hello. The Asian small-clawed otter is one of my favorite animals to see in any zoo or aquarium. They're always playful and active, and they're super adorable. And they make wonderful squeak noises. One's standing up on his back legs like these people.
Sorry, I hit you.
I'm guessing there must be a trainer coming in, because now they are all on high alert. It might be a little hard to tell on the camera, but it's a really cool tank for the piranhas. It's a big piranhas too.
They're really pretty.
And now the otters are swimming around, playing with their tires. Stingray touch things with a bunch of different types of rays in here. From your more shark type rays like this guy to some really small ones. There are a couple of larger ones in here as well.
Good morning, everyone coming around the corner.
So we got the aquarium right when it opened at 9. They do have a food court style area. That doesn't open until 10. And right next to the food court, you've got like an inflatable section for the kids, which is pretty good.
Interesting booster.
Yes! It is all sorts of like nautical movies.
Yeah.
Everything from March of the Penguins to Piranha. Deep Blue Sea. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful movie when Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten by that shark. Pirates of the Caribbean, love that.
Titanic, classic.
Titanic. Interesting that they would go not only Little Mermaid, but Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea.
They don't have Little Mermaid 3 then, so...
Ah, yeah, they must have run out. Of course, one of the most classic movie posters of all time. You got Jaws, you have Finding Nemo. You've got another touch tank style exhibit here. Not really with more active fish. These are like sea urchins, starfish, and things of that nature. This is nice to see. They do have a Aquarium Foundation, which is a non-profit, and they're raising money for it here with a silent auction. In that big shank we showed you earlier, it's feeding time. So you can see them feeding like the rays and some of the sharks. Obviously not a guest thing, they work here. One very interesting upcharge they do here is you can go on an underwater tour by like putting on a wetsuit and then putting on one of these helmets so you can essentially breathe underneath the water and then hopping in with the fish. I don't know how expensive it is, but I imagine that would probably be really neat. And now time for the greatest animal. Of course, the penguin. Looks like these guys are mostly hanging out towards the back. You do have one right up front.
They're right there in the back.
Hanging out. But most of them, I wonder if it's close to feeding time. That's why they're all in the back. You can see the aquarium is designed with all these little caves. That's where African penguins tend to live in the wild. That's where they'll lay their eggs and things like that. A little interactive thing here, the Seafood Watch Cafe, which talks about what kind of seafood you should buy and what you shouldn't buy. And let's see, let's go with shark. And we hit shark, and here comes the chef.
The answer is shark. Do we agree? I'm sorry, that is incorrect. And it'll cost the environment quite a bit to bring you this dish. Hey, like us humans, most sharks live a long time and don't get down to breeding for many years. And just how many babies do they have?
And what you should buy?
You are correct.
You shouldn't buy.
When sharks do have
very neat
babies, it's
interaction.
usually
It's very
just
clear,
a few
too.
pups at a time. Not a bad...
You can now see the people that probably have the best job here at the aquarium as they look after the penguins. Look at all those penguins. I do enjoy the design here at the penguin enclosure. There's a lot of places where you can see them from above the water, and then a pretty deep tank for African penguins. And you can see them below the water. We do have an upcharge over here, a virtual reality ride experience where you could do a whole bunch of different things. You can see about $7 to do one, $10 to do two. Over by the food court, you do get an underwater view of the big tank.
And it's odd because blue tangs are in here.
Yeah.
That's like the dory type fish,
Yeah. And
which
you
is
got a
giant.
moray eel swimming just all by himself there.
Yeah.
Now, if you keep walking past the first penguin area, there is a second penguin area.
Because you can never have too many penguins.
No. Hard to focus on because the penguins have made splashes, but there's got to be 20 penguins over there.
Yeah.
And one of them decided to come right over to us. You got a pretty nice photo up here of Molly in a giant shark mouth. So a bit of a bummer, the escalator is closed. And that's not me saying this as like a lazy person, but it's on like their brochures and stuff that the escalator goes through an aquarium. The elevator instead, which is made out of glass, and there's like a mural.
Yeah, kind of cool. Not as cool.
No aquarium, but also making terrifying noises in here. Here's where you can see that escalator I was talking about, which takes you through a tank. Now that aquarium that you do go on the elevator ride through, it's a big shark exhibit. So there's rays, there's leopard sharks, and reef sharks in here.
In the spotted ray.
And the spotted ray. These interesting looking animals. These are spiny lobsters. They have a lot of them. And some are on the walls. If you look in the back, some are hanging out like on the bottom of the rocks. Interesting combination here. You got the big-bellied seahorses and the pinecone fish. I don't know if I've ever heard of a pinecone fish before.
They kind of look like pine cones.
Yeah. Not too active. Over here is a giant Pacific octopus. A little tough to see with the glare.
Doing what he likes to do, squishing himself between the walls.
Yeah, into a corner. The cool fish down at the bottom there that kind of look like they're made sideways is a Pacific halibut.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
Watching them swim.
And then you also have a big, giant crab in here as well. You've got a big tank here for the kelp forest. This has to be one of the more bizarre fish in here, guys. You can see them going there. These are walking crabfish. Like they have little feet.
Yeah, that's really odd. They're not great at walking, though. They're good at swimming.
Definitely very, very interesting. Oop. They kind of hop around. Just scraped myself. I did call these guys crabfish. It is walking batfish.
Batfish.
This mesmerizing exhibit here. These are upside down jellyfish.
That are from the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah. I feel like you can get hypnotized watching them. You've got a beautiful tank here for the lionfish. Oh, they have a lot of lionfish.
Yes, they do.
You do have a giant window here. So this is the tank that, wow, look at the size of that ray. This, I believe, is the tank that the escalator goes through.
Yeah, with
probably the big
sharks
tank.
Yeah.
And really nice. They got a nice sitting area here as well.
I'm sad that you can't see the sea turtle. Apparently there's a sea turtle in here.
Yeah, that hopefully we see him at some point. But it seems like a pretty large sized tank.
Yes.
Also, I'm assuming at one point this old sea captain fellow was an animatronic.
He's really creepy looking. Very.
Yeah, but he definitely moved and talked at one point, I would guess. This one's also neat. These are clownfish, and 3 different species of clownfish, and very mesmerizing. Up next, I believe, is the star attraction here, the Odysea Voyager, the world's only rotating ocean adventure. Before you get to the Odysea Voyager, you do have a really cool tunnel. Lots of species of smaller fish.
Like tropical fish.
Yeah. While you're in kind of the queue area to get to the Odysea Voyager, you get a bunch of other tanks, including this one for the Pacific Lagoon, which I like. I'm going to try and catch up to this fish here. Yeah, him with the big nose.
Yeah.
And the dory fish, the blue tank. Also in the queue area is a Caribbean reef. This is also the big tank I think you see from the Odysea Voyager.
And we found the sea turtle.
A couple of them.
He's so cool.
Yeah, that one's a big sea turtle. So we are now inside the Odysea Voyager ride. I had this described to me as the carousel of progress of aquariums, and it definitely seems correct. I think the whole theater's going to move. So we just got off of the Ocean Voyager experience, and our buddy Brian told us, like, you've got to go to this aquarium. They've got a carousel of progress of fish, and it's very similar. Of course, carousel of progress, you rotate on the outside.
The dirty side of it.
Yeah, this one you rotate on the inside, and the aquariums are on the outside. But all the aquariums are really well done. They're giant glasses, big aquariums.
Yeah, it was so cool seeing the different types of grouper fish. And
some of the biggest rays I've ever seen in my life, outside of like a manta ray in some of the aquariums. They were fixing up.
Sharks?
Yeah, they have a really cool shark exhibit. I believe that shark exhibit's the same one you see from the bathroom when you first come in.
Yes.
And then you've got other really cool stuff. They had a sea lion exhibit shut down right now, but replaced it with a really fun movie showing off all the, and I just love this. I mean, it was cool.
It's very unique, and I wish more aquariums and stuff could do it.
Yeah. I mean, this must have been so expensive.
Oh, yeah. So
big
great
tanks and the ride system. But yeah, definitely one of the highlights here. We do have a tank here with some smaller shark species. And some very shiny fish. Another awesome tank here. Big cylindrical tank, but then it opens up on the top, allowing the schools of fish to all swim.
Yeah, I love how well the tanks are.
Yeah, like, very innovative, very modern.
Yeah.
Like perfectly lighting. Here you can see the big shark tank, and over there you can see the Odysea Voyager rotating theater moving on the other side.
It's such a cool thing.
And the shark coming right for us. And another shark. These are a ton of moon jellyfish.
And it's so cool with like the pebbles and the marbles at the bottom. It's very like hypnotizing with the way they move and the reflection.
Series of tank here is named Ocean's Art. I'm guessing the idea is like they're supposed to be like a picture frame.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not sure how well this works. So you leave the aquarium by going up an escalator, which I have to imagine probably takes you into a gift shop. It does. And you're bombarded with advertisements of all the other things you can do here. in the Arizona boardwalk area. And like most attractions, you do exit through the gift shop. You have a big, big gift shop here too. Any kind of aquarium stuff or animal stuff you can want, well, you could find it all here, I imagine.
These are cool.
Oh yeah, look at that jellyfish lamp.
So cool.
And that will do it for our time here at the Odysea Aquarium. I enjoyed it. Very modern.
I love the exhibits were
Really nice shape.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say, very expensive attraction though. This is a $40 aquarium, and we were there for a little over 2 hours. So, you know, it's not inexpensive, but it is very cool. The highlight for me had to be the carousel of progress aquarium thing. I've never seen that before. That was awesome. Really, I mean, penguins and otters are two of my favorite animals, and we had really good time seeing those guys. The other one I want to mention, the batfish. That guy, really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen an animal like that.
And the best bathrooms in the world.
And the best bathrooms in the world. There we go. If you have any questions about the Odysea Aquarium, let us know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching, guys.